Oh my gosh, this stream doesn't know what it's doing today. Anywho, right then, a little bit of an unboxing. Only a few small items, things I may or may not use. So, what I've gone and done basically, we've ordered a couple of bits. One of which is the cheapest brand new deep dish steering wheel you can get off eBay. Now, you might think, why do you order one of them? Well, one, it was cheap. Two, I'm not 100% keen on deep dish. Wanted to get one to try, see what it's like. Saber and Zuka, hi, how you doing? So really just wanted to get a cheap wheel for me to try, see what it's like, see if I like what a deep dish is all about. Gone for a wheel at 350, and obviously I need a way of mounting it. So what we'll do, we'll just unbox the bits and bobs. You can have a look. I got a feeling it's going to be a pretty basic looking item. Gareth, evening, good to see you. And obviously it's really just for me to try. It may be absolutely rubbish, it may be okay. So we're going to have two cameras set up. It's going to be kind of weird for me because to get them both on screen, it's kind of like, well, hold on a minute. Well, I suppose I could try and bring that one over a little bit more. Yeah, haven't quite got the angle. But anyway, let's crack on. You can have a look at the small one for now. So, cut through. This one came in a bag, so I took the bag off. And we'll cut through there. Yeah, well, you know, we need bits and bobs now and again. So, first one. Ooh, look, isn't that exciting? There's a box. Happy days. So first off, that is a wheel mount extender. So down by here, actually, we'll move this down. That would mount here to mount your wheel, and it'll help extend the wheel out. Now I bought that because of the new rig, and I may need to bring this out slightly further and push the wheel further back. So rather than keep pushing the desk back, I thought, right, we'll get an extender. That may help us. And again, this item, Saber and Zuka, there's no promoting your channel on here. I would suggest if you want to promote your channel, you do it on your own channel, please. So literally, this was what, about tenner off eBay, imported from China, I believe. Oh, it's just zoomed in, Mark. How are you doing? And again, you get your mounting fixes. I'll be holding up to that camera as well. So, there we are. It's a nice simple one. First off, we never know. We might use that. We might not. Gotta have your cup holder. What we'll do, we'll put that in there. And we'll put that in there for now. Not quite sure whether I'll be using that because at the moment it's actually set up quite nice. The next one, I've covered up my label obviously so you can't see the address. Aren't I nice? And before he cuts his fingers open. Right then, let's put that to one side. Another box. Another set of screws. Where's the camera? There. This is a new quick release. I've decided, here, how do we go to the GoPro on this one? Boop. So we'll need to mod this. But I've gone for the red ring, and again, this, I had two choices. Because I needed, obviously, if I'm going to try using the new wheel, I need another way of mounting the wheel to the rig. Ideally, pull, remove. You've got your two separate sections. And as you can see, you've got your bearings in there. They clamp down. And we'll be... Oop, something came loose. That will lock onto this Let me get the right one on. Where is it? We need to find the 5 holes. There we are. That's locked on there. That's a mounting plate which we'll use to mount the wheel to the wall. And again, wheel will mount here. Unfortunately, I don't have multiple. There we go. Look, I'll move it up there. It's probably better up there, isn't it? You don't need to see all the screens. There we go. So that's how it will mount here. Now, obviously, the main part that we need to try and find out, let me put that back up there, is going to be the wheel. Let's see your all screws, which we'll put for there for now. Right then. Make sure all of these are cut. I know I did try cutting some of this before, because it wasn't packed very well. I think that should be enough. That's rather large. But in a way, I wanted a larger one, so. Well, that's your normal mounting kit. Nothing really fancy. There we are. Anybody wants to look at the small camera on the screen? So what have we got? Operating instructions and installation. How would you need an operating instruction for a steering wheel? Surely it's just hold both sides and turn. I mean, you know, really? Operating and installation. If you need instructions on how to operate a steering wheel, I think there's something wrong. Get ready, this is cheap, mind. Well, yes, it is cheap. It is very plasticky. It is spongy. It's a small wheel, actually. The feel of it is very small. So you can see why I went for the red Boss. So it all blends in. But again, if I enjoy using this very basic wheel, I'll look to invest into a better quality one. The last thing I wanted to do was splash out, say, on a anywhere from £50 to £100 wheel and find out, you know what, I don't want to use the thing. Then I'd have to go through the hassle of selling or just wasting £50 to £100, which, to be honest, could be better spent elsewhere. Well, if I can, I'm either going to cut it or I'm going to try and move the tab. I probably wouldn't have the central part. You could put the horn back in, but I don't see the point. This carbon fiber red finish. I mean, let's face it, it's just a bit of plastic at the end of the day. It's not going to be metal. It is like an £11 wheel. But you can kind of see how it would work. So what we'll do, you will see, let me put that on the floor. Where did I put the mounting screws? This is where the fun begins there. Don't need them. Allen key, oh, always comes in handy. Screws. Don't need bag. First things first. We're gonna there's a slight mark in it already, actually, so, but again, I'm not going to complain. eBay for like $11.99, I think it was. I knew it was going to be cheap and cheerful. Would I recommend this for your car? Absolutely not. I'm not quite sure if chat is moving along nicely, but it's the chat seems a bit weird up there. I'm trying to see, is that mounting flush? I think it is. Vaga, it's just a real cheap deep dish wheel off eBay, just to see if I'm going to enjoy using a deep dish wheel. And I think I'm going to need that one. Well, what do you know? These look like they're too long. Alright, okay. Okay, so these are going to be too long to mount to that one. Right, that's problem number one. Give me a second. Let's have a look at these. I'm hoping these are shorter. Otherwise, I'm going to have to move the camera and delve into my bag of screws, which is buried in a cupboard. I might try and get into a Assetto Corsa. I've done a bit of drifting in that before, something I've been trying to teach myself. It's going to take me a long, long time. Right, let's try this screw. This should fit. Oh, black doesn't look too bad, actually. Alright, okay. So, change of plans. Get rid of that one. Allen key. Lovely. Yeah, you had to sit down and think about the button box, did you? It would make much more sense to do a button box. I mean, I understand why you were thinking the way you were in terms of trying to do it in the wheel, but I think you were going to create yourself a really big headache. All you need to do now is sit down and think, right, how many extra buttons do you need and how you're going to make it, you know? Well, gladly, this comes with a shed load of screws, and I think I've just used the wrong ones. I'll use the round head ones, I prefer them actually. But hold on, are they just as long or short? Oh no. Oh, they're just as long. What am I going to do with it? Burn it. I have no idea, to be honest. I bought a cheap one because I know I don't do a lot of... I might actually put it on for truckers, because it's a much bigger wheel. Well, I say much bigger. It feels much bigger. It doesn't actually look it if you put it next to it. I'll grab the other wheel now. I need to take that one off. That one off. Drop this now, I can tell. We'll take this one off. Yeah, as for quick release, the other option was I buy a really, really good quick release. The only problem with the quick release I'd love to buy, they're about 70, 80 quid per quick release. And I would need 3 of them now, because I've got 3 wheels. Kind of adds up. So for the center, I will work... Torque that down. Oops. Try not to thread the heads or do anything like that. Last thing you want to do. Right, so the wheel is on. Walk them up a bit. That one's not very good. think I've got some spare bolts that I may actually end up using. They're not brilliant bolts. So to give you an idea, where's it? That's the original wheel. It's hard to tell that way, really, when you look at it. And that's the wheel. That's bottom, so you can see pretty slightly. This is supposed to be a 220, but it's got a weird measurement on it. That's 220. This is supposed to be a 320. This is supposed to be 350. As you can see, that's the original wheel that I've been using. And as you can see, this is obviously a lot thicker than this one. But again, had it about the same, but you can tell the quality of this is a lot less. Quick release wise, you can see how that comes off. Swap over. Come back in. So for a couple of quid, you got yourself a nice little quick release. Let's turn that on. Alexa, turn on power. That's just the wheel configuring itself. Well, to be honest, I mean, this is a budget wheel. It's the cheapest one I could find on eBay. It is weird getting used to that, though. It does bring it a lot closer to you. So that's going to be something I'll need to get used to. Need to fathom out. You can tell it's for a real car at the end of the day. I'll need to try and mod this to where maybe that can go in the middle. I know that will bend, but maybe I can pull that out because all I need is the top piece. Then again, saying that, I know that's supposed to go that way. Then that will go there. Let's finish it off better if I do it that way. But I wonder if I can cut that off in a way and just stick that in there. Otherwise, what I might do is just get a bit of carbon fiber tape and cover that. Or as I say, maybe a wheel emblem for the center of the wheel. But I'll have a think about that one. But it's all straightforward. And I think it was a good little buy at the end of the day. So we have a spare mount, which I'll need to test. And again, with these mounts, you've got these central parts here. What I tend to do with these is take out those two screws here, remove this section, take the wires out from here to stop them from rattling inside, because these are meant for, you know, if you're going to use them on a car for real life. So for a rig, you don't need the home button. I take the central part out. I mean, that's not going to be required either. So again, you would put that there, take this off. Again, looking at the back, two screws, top and bottom. Remove those two. This black section comes out, and that black section comes out there. So then you got straight into the wheel there itself. Just be a hole, but obviously all you do is just a blanking plate and job done. So that's basically, yeah, I quite like the red. If I get the old wheel, this is the original one that I bought. So I went for the. We've got different finishes: chrome, blue, black. I went for the chrome backing originally. Kind of wish I went for the blue and the red, because now I got the red. It really does look nice. I think the chrome worked out the cheapest, so I ended up going for the chrome because when I bought the wheel, it was obviously chrome mounted and metal and everything, so I went with chrome. But to have a little accent of red on there, if I ever need another one, I'll probably buy a red or a blue, just so I've got a little bit of colour coming into the rig itself, because otherwise it's very industrial looking, to say the least. I don't know whether this will show off the wheels. You know, like I'll try and get them normally, but you can see the thickness of the wheel itself. See how thin the budget wheel is? But then again, they're both budget. This rim, this was about 50 to 59 pound if I remember correctly. So let's say 60 quid, yeah? Whereas this one, again, you're looking at 12 pound, and you can see the difference in depth. Va, what do you mean what happened? As far as I'm aware, everything's okay. If something's going on, if the sound's all wonky, let me know. So yeah, so there you have it. You've got your eBay budget. Just refresh your connection then, or your other stream. Because I get that now and again where the stream will just crash out. That's not the stream itself, it's just YouTube playing up. So again, you get your budget wheel. And I think, you know, let's face it, I don't know how much I'll use it. It may be something I'll use once in a blue moon or never. If it becomes more of a regular thing, and I'm enjoying the wheel, as I said, I'll happily buy a better wheel. It is really, really light, which is a good thing, because that means that there may be better response. This is quite a heavy wheel, actually. Mind you, it's got the button box on it. So at some point, in the near future, we will try it. I could do it with Forza, because obviously you're going to have this mounted. Got the truck shifter, which I can take off. Still works well. The position of the handbrake with the wheel is still good. It's a little bit further back, which feels good. Just checking. Don't think it's a perfectly round wheel. It looks like it's got a bit of height on the top, because there's a little bit of movement when you spin it. But nothing too bad. I think it's going to be have a try and see how that feels with games. What do you guys think? I mean, obviously, what do you think for the sake of what? Say 12 quid for the wheel, 13 quid for a hub, and this extender, which I may or may not use, because I don't. With a deep dish, I definitely don't need to bring this any closer, because that brings it close enough in my view. It's almost at a perfect position by there. However, I may reposition the rig and look at adding this piece in, bring it forward. And it's only what? That's a 30mm. That's a 30mm extender. Sorry, 30mm. What am I on about? 3-inch extender. That's not 30mm. So obviously, gives me a bit of play, so I don't have to move everything around. It's just great. I can just add it. ETS is an idea. The problem is, I either have to mount it to a button box, because I'm going to lose half my buttons otherwise. I'll have to look into ETS, because it was a thought of mine maybe doing ETS. But obviously, let me do it again. Obviously with ETS, at the moment I'm using this, well, let me put that down. At the moment I'm using this wheel. And this one obviously gives me a lot of buttons, which are programmed for ETS, and obviously paddle shifters, which I don't need to use, paddle shifters for left and right. Wreckfest is an option. Oh, sorry, that's me knocking things over. So yes, Wreckfest is an option. I could actually do a bit of that tonight, actually. It's not a bad idea, I quite like that idea. Me think, use the keyboard. Well, this thing, I'd have to program all the keys in. It's an idea. I actually haven't programmed the. It's one thing I should do actually is probably programming the keys for ETS. Because with ETS you've got two profiles, haven't you? You've got the left-hand side and the right-hand side. And at the moment, everything I've programmed in with ETS for the button boxes and everything is on the right hand side. Again, I'd have to look into it. I don't think I'll be able to do that tonight because it'll take me too long to configure that. But I think Wreckfest is a possibility because I can use the truck shifter. I can swap it out if I need to. So that's my gears. Is there anything I normally press with Wreckfest other than start, which I can assign to a different button? Or I can use my controller anyway. That's a good idea. I like it. So any thoughts on the wheels? What do you think? Do you reckon it was... Do you think it's bad? I mean, I reckon it's, you know, when you factor in the cost of the wheel, for anybody who's working on a budget, then I think you can't go wrong. You know, it's solid. There isn't much in terms of flex on that at all. There's a little bit there at the top. It's pretty solid down at the bottom. I don't think you'd notice it when you're using it. Yeah, it's pretty solid to me. So there are, you know, cheap and cheerful ways of getting things done. The red accent looks good in it. It does scratch easy by the looks of it because there is a small scratch right there. But again, I'm not going to email off to eBay to say if there's a scratch in my wheel I want another one. It came all the way from China. They'll probably want it sent back or something silly like that, so no chance. And I'm not going to quibble over, you know, a tenner at the end of the day. These, take it off. These quick release, again, these are copies. I would say if you're on a budget and you need a quick release for your wheel, I would definitely recommend one of these. If you can afford one of the better solid quick release ones, which basically is like a clamping bracket with like the bicycle clamps, I would certainly recommend going that route, and that's what I plan to do further down the line once I've done all my major upgrade parts. But otherwise, this I find great. You know, it probably will become noisy at some point, but we're talking maybe a year down the line, so the way I look at it, if I get a year out of it and I need to replace it, I'm not going to argue over that for the cost. I'd rather spend £10, £13 a year for one of these than having to outlay, you know, 80 quid for the bracket I do want, which at the moment it's 80 quid that could go towards a new graphics card or, you know, the next upgrade that I want to do. So that's it really. It's going to be short and sweet. I may be back shortly. What I'm going to do, I'm going to nip off stream. I'm going to tidy up the wiring on these wheels so I certainly can't play with all this wire hanging out. And what I'll do then, we'll come back and I might do a little bit of Wreckfest. Might have a look at that, I think. So if you want to stick around, I should be back soon. And I'm going to leave this right there. And you can have a look at in your own time. So for anybody who's come around and watched, thanks very much. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you shortly. Take care.